Hello, people. Yes, we are going to discuss Bigfoot. Or, as I pretty much am certain, is a species of Gigantopithecus. But Gigantopithecus actually existed. It's like Giganto. I can't read. I'll read it for you. Gigantopithecus is an extinct genus of ape that. Gigantopithecus is a giant ape, an extinct species of giant ape that lived in southern China from a very long time ago, during the early to middle Pleistocene era, represented by one species, Gigantopithecus blacki. But potential indications also have been made in Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. The first remains of Gigantopithecus, 2/3 molar teeth, were identified in a drugstore by anthropologist Ralph von Koningsgewald in 1935, who subsequently described the ape in 1956. The first mandible and more than 1,000 teeth were found in Linching, and numerous more remains have been found since at that site. 16 site. Stop turning off. Only teeth and 4 mandibles are known currently. Other skeletal elements were lightly consumed by porcupines before they could be fossilized. Gigantopithecus was once argued to be a hominid, a member of the human line, but is now be closely allied with orangutan, is classified as subfamily Ponagenia. Let's see if I can get a good decent picture here somewhere. See, it's sort of what it looks like. Bloody sun. There we go. I don't think you can see that very well, but it's pretty big. Let's see if I can find a better picture of Mr. Gigantopithecus. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's kind of how big he was. He was a big guy, big fella. Nice if his phone would cooperate with me. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate, but anyway. One, we know Gigantopithecus was alive and well and living on planet Earth. See, I believe in Bigfoot only in the sense, windows open, only in the sense that I think the Gigantopithecus is Bigfoot is a subspecies or related to Gigantopithecus. Personally, to me, most sightings of Bigfoot, I don't think are real. Okay, I think it's like my theory with ghosts. I think 95% of all sightings of Bigfoot are nonsense. 4% sightings of Bigfoot are maybe, and 1% is yes. See, I don't have a problem believing in an ape or a primate that has survived since the Noetic flood, or before the Noetic flood, but somehow managed to survive because DNA is everywhere, and DNA is where we get a lot of what we get. I don't have a problem believing because I really do think that that's what mostly the real sightings of this thing down. Because that's where I think most of the sightings are. I personally do believe that Bigfoot, I don't even like the term. I believe that Bigfoot, Yetis, abominable snowman, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, skunk apes, whatever, are nothing but a species of Gigantopithecus that has survived. Why not? There's no proof that they did, and there's no proof they didn't. Other than the fact that Native American legends talk about a very large, hairy, primate-like creature. American cultures do, Asian cultures do. The idea of I'm going to use the word Bigfoot because it's the only one I have. Because it's the only one people actually, they get an idea what I'm talking about. I don't like the term because I don't think it fits it. I think that most cultures have Bigfoot legends because they did see something. I think most mythologies, a lot of mythologies anyway, are based on grains of truth of something. See, I think that a lot of times we've gotten to an age of basically we just don't believe anything anymore. Science certainly doesn't. I don't find modern science very, very believable because they spend a great deal of their time, it seems to me, avoiding the what if they're wrong. What is the possibility that maybe such a creature does exist? Why not? Like I said, I think 95% of the Bigfoot sightings are not real. I think they're made up. I think they could be misidentification, which is possible. See, the reason I give it that 1% is because one, I can't be everywhere on this planet at one time. I don't know what. I can't be everywhere. So how am I going to know? So when a scientist stands and says, "Well, it's impossible," really? So you have the ability to be everywhere at one time? You don't know that. Science used to be about. Science used to be about looking for things or exploring things or searching things out. Now it's just keep the status quo and let's not make any trouble here. We don't want to look for anything that might actually disprove what we want it to be. See, that's why I don't have a problem with believing that Bigfoot has ancestors or subspecies still alive. Well, probably not very many, and they're probably dying out if they exist. I mean, this planet's pretty big, people. This planet is not as big as some people would like you to think it is, that it's small. It's not. There's a lot of territory out there not being explored by humans and left alone by people. And no, I do not think that they are aliens. Ancient aliens drives me crazy when they talk about Bigfoot because they do. They turn Bigfoot into an alien or a creature created by aliens or something. Bigfoot is not an alien. It's not a trans something creature of a dimension of some kind. It's a large primate. That's all it is, and that's all it's ever been. I mean, the Epic of Gilgamesh may be a Bigfoot-like story. I mean, Ancient Aliens turns it into something else, but to me, it's okay. The story may have some basis in fact. Maybe there was this creature that somehow got along with other people, and it became a different story. That's possible. But yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by cryptozoology. Cryptozoology to me does fascinate me, which is why I am willing to believe that maybe there is somewhere, someplace, a very small population somewhere of cryptid creatures related to Gigantopithecus. I think it's fascinating that there was one time, because we have fossils of a primate 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. That's a mini King Kong. Should have brought my little King Kong over there. He could protest. I mean, think about it. There was this primate 10 feet tall. There really was one. They have fossils. It's fascinating to think that some subspecies or some relative of that managed to survive. Somehow, some way managed to survive everything. Human encroachment, loss of its environment, people. The Native Americans have way too many legends of such creatures. I believe the Native American legends and stories more than I believe modern science. To me, modern science has become, let us do nothing that upsets the status quo. Science used to be about searching out things, exploring. That's why cryptozoology to me is fascinating. It's looking for the possibility of something. I mean, think about it. I mean, like I've said, I really think that only 1% of all the stories out there are true. There is that 4% that may be true. And then there's 95% that I think is just, made up or misidentification or something. It's my same theory when I talk about ghosts. To me, 95% of it's nonsense, 4% maybe, and 1% yes. I mean, and I did want to mention this book. This is the only book I have on Gigantopithecus. It's an older book. There is only one picture of Mr. Giganto. I was hoping to be able to find it. I don't think you can see it very well. Can you see it very well? Stand up. That big guy. There we go. That's about 10 feet. But, I mean, think about it. That thing was stomping around. I mean, it is. I haven't read this book, so I can't say whether it's good or bad. But, you know, in the clump of bamboo at the edge of the clearing, a troop of giant apes is foraging, snapping huge stalks of bamboo as easily as so many bits of straw. Yet they hear the approach of the men and turn. The two species are eyeball to eyeball for the first time. The apes loom the height of 10 feet. That's King Kong. Well, okay, maybe Mighty Joe Young. More than twice the height of the men, and weigh over 1,000 pounds. They are covered with golden hair that is a bit grayer on their backs and shoulders. Small yellow eyes burn in their skulls. As they lighten the sight of the group of men, they're fearless distant cousins. No, they're not. I'm sorry, I don't believe in evolution. I believe in giant apes, because they have fossils, and they have this. It looks like a neat book. I mean, I would love. And the thing is with me, though, the funny thing is, if I had a chance of either finding the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot, I'll take Loch Ness Monster. That's how you believe in the Loch Ness Monster. It's the word monster that bothers me because it's not accurate. It's like Monster Quest on the so-called History Channel. Stop calling them monsters. You're just looking for a big shark or a big ape or a giant reptile in the loch. Everything's monster on that show. It's like, and the show spends about 35 minutes in the show preparing to look for the monster. I mean, I do like watching the History Channel because I need a comedy channel. That's my version of the comedy channel. The funniest show is Ancient Aliens for a host of reasons. But anyway, yes, Ancient Aliens has turned Bigfoot into a alien hybrid something or other. Trans-dimensional something creature. I mean, I don't have a problem with... See, my worldview doesn't have a problem with believing that there is possible that a species or a subspecies of Giganto is still around. It's science arrogance that says, no, I'm not looking because I don't have to look. That's not science. That is not science. And it's never going to be science. I like potentiality. I mean, I also think even if they did find evidence of Gigantopithecus still running around, scientists would still figure out a way to say, well, that's not the real ape. It looks like the real ape. It acts like an ape. It is an ape. No, can't be because we said so. We're science. The most useless creatures on some of these shows, particularly in Search of Monster Quest, is science. They're always saying, well, science, so looking for answers. No, they're not. If you ever watch these shows, and I do, because I need a good laugh on occasion, science is the last place you should ever go to find facts about anything on these shows, let alone Ancient Aliens. But anyway, I'm only doing this video because I want to do something fun. And I like talking about cryptozoology and Gigantopithecus. Look, I'm sorry. If I have an interest in Bigfoot at all, it is solely maybe one day I will find a 10-foot Gigantopithecus orangutan-like creature. I think that would be cool. And then I'd probably start running. Because as we all know, gorillas do not like being stared at. And I have a suspicion that Gigantopithecus is not going to be like being stared at. I don't remember. Gorillas were not believed to exist until the very early 20th century. They didn't remember. You got to remember all this. Look back to the history of gorillas. People will report back seeing these huge, hairy primate monkey animals, and nobody believed them until one day. Oh, wait a minute, we found one. Look, oh, they do exist, really. After science kept saying, well, they don't exist. The natives are imagining it. They're misidentifying until they realized that, oh no, gorillas do exist. Okay, well, we're science. We knew it all along. No, you didn't. It's like the coelacanth. I will do one on the coelacanth. As you can see, my coelacanth. My favorite prehistoric fish. My favorite fish. The star. Really need to dust my office. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, it has some pictures. Unfortunately, those are the only picture of Giganto they have, which I don't understand why. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool book, and I like science. I always have, and I always will. But anyway, anybody out there who thinks you or anybody else would like to read that book, please, let them know. Comment, share the book, certainly comment. Please comment. I like comments. I really do. I know people don't think I do, but I do. I want to know what other people think. But anyway, behave yourselves. Try to behave yourselves, because I'm not going to. But it would be cool to see a Gigantopithecus walking down the street. It's a wooded area right over there. I keep hoping I'm going to see something staring back at me. 10 feet tall, primate looking, holding up a sign saying, leave me alone. Anyway, later, Hill. May the cryptozoology be with you. Because it is fun.